talk to you about 2 huge writing announcements. One of my big announcements tonight, you guys, is I have a new book coming out already. Angelique and I are hard at work. She's a slave driver, you guys. No, I'm just kidding. I love working with her. And Angelique's website, and thank you, Lori, for doing that, is Write for Healing. And that's how Angelique and I first hooked up, was because she helped me publish Kaleidoscope 9, because it was, I didn't want to lose that ability after my brain injury, and after TBI rehab, they suggested that I keep working with a coach, and so that I wouldn't lose that skill. Tonya on the road says that she has mine in ebooks, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. And Noreen just put up my links to my books. I have the best mods in the world. You guys just rock. Do you guys want to know what the name of my next book is going to be? And I'll tell you what it's about. How's that for a tease? I'm really excited about it. Angelique and I are working really hard because we want that new book to come out and be out and be available. Are y'all ready? By the end of the year, hopefully we'll get it to our publisher, who happens to be Robert. Hopefully we'll get it to him early November so that he can get it out, and we can get it out by Cyber Monday. My title of my book is How Being a Nomad Saved My Life. It's time that I got my story out there, all the way from, it'll go back a little bit to childhood, because that greatly affects how and why I'm a nomad, and why this life fits me so well. And also very traumatic childhood, and I can't write about my adulthood and overcoming and thriving past a brain surgery without talking about all of the trauma I've been through in my life, and how I've overcome depression and some other things in my life. And so it's all going to be tied together. I'm very excited. Again, totally different than anything else I've done. Lori says, good title, time you shared your whole story. Thank you. Yes, Angelique. Angelique says, yes, we've got this. We are committed to it. I don't care if I only get a few hours sleep. That's what we're going to do. Cardise evidently has a question. She says, have you written books before your TBI? I did not have books published before my TBI. You know, it's one of those things, Cardise, and I think everybody can probably identify with this. I had this whole life planned. I was getting close to retirement. I was going to do an early retirement. I worked for the state, and I was going to do an early retirement, and I had this whole plan, and it'll be part of the book. But to to travel was going to be totally different than being a nomad. But I was going to travel and be an author, and I just had this whole life mapped out, you know, before the brain injury came along and everything blew up, and I'm putting the pieces of my life back together. So my very first book that was published as a product of, it's a very thin book. It was a miracle accomplishment, because you know, a part of my story is the doctors didn't even think I'd see 2016, and then there Angelique and I go publishing a book. I just can't wait to get the whole story out there. So here's the next big thing. I told you I had 2 things tonight about a writing update. First of all, let me tell you about A Pigeon Story. Okay, here's the book. I am so proud of this book, and let me take that off for a minute so I can talk to y'all heart to heart. I am so proud of this book, and I'm going to read a little bit of it tonight, because it is a story, I think, that is so pertinent to our time. And it's a story, like it says, of letting go, acceptance, and transformation. And it's told with, this is my copy, that's why it's got the bar across here, my Amazon proof copy. But it's told from animals' perspectives, but it's not a children's story. It is a very philosophical story. And I had been writing on it, or not writing on it, but had it in my list of books to write. I probably have probably about 15 different books that if I sat down and wrote, I could just crank out. And this was one of them, and it just wasn't ever time to write it until now. And now I know why. It's because it speaks to every single one of us in the world right now. And again, the characters write this. There's the back cover, me and Angelique. Anyway, the characters write this. And so y'all indulge me. You know, I hope you will listen to this and understand if somebody asks what my book is about, I'm fixing to give you a shade of what A Pigeon Story is about and why it is so important, I think, for now. Jacob, you have to let it go. Annie's dead because she couldn't let go, and you have to. Her sharp words hurt his heart and had him looking up at his mother. His eyes were wide and blinking. I'm sorry, Jakey, that was horrible of me. This place terrifies me. I'm worried I'm going to lose you. She nestled in next to her son and lowered her body to the concrete completely so that she was lying next to him, eye to eye. He rested his head on her neck for a moment. It's okay, Mother, I understand. It wasn't always like this, you know. Does that sound familiar? Can any of us identify with that, with the world the way it is crazy right now, that it wasn't always like this? She was ashamed that she didn't know. She meant to fly and see her son and Annie, but the truth was she had always wanted them to come back home to the Grove, which is where, in her mind, they belonged. She never wanted her son to leave in the first place, but she never dreamed this would happen. She should have come to see them when they were happy, when they were sending messages home about how pretty it was here. I'm so sorry I never came to see you guys before, son. Tell me what I'd be looking at now before it all changed. Jacob opened his eyes for a moment and looked out over the grounds briefly, remembering the joy and beauty that existed, and how vibrant life once was. He and Annie used to sit for hours as the sun began to set, right where his mother and he were sitting now. He didn't really want to talk about it, though. His mother shuffled and wiggled her body ever so slightly, just enough to jostle him a bit, too. Tell me, Jacob. I need to see it through your eyes, son. Y'all bear with me. I hope that y'all are doing okay while I read through this. So he closed his eyes for a long moment and then opened them and began. See that statue over there, Mother? The one with the leaves all around it and a twig hanging down from one of the arms? Yes, Jakey, I see it. She was so proud of her son for being so brave and loving. He was doing this for her without realizing she was doing it for him. Well, that's actually a water fountain. You can't see the big pool where the water used to be because it's covered in leaves. But there used to be a dozen waterfalls flowing into the pool from the statue. It made the air so nice and clean and fresh, especially in the evenings. He looked off to the horizon while Olivia struggled to see the fountain in its original splendor. Before what the humans call the decimation, there used to be hundreds of people walking the gardens around here. Olivia looked around and saw no gardens and no humans. For as far as she could see, there were only empty buildings, broken glass, and dying vegetation. Now, becoming desperate for his mother to see, Jacob stood up and stretched his neck. Maybe somehow, if he got her to look closer, she could see it. He wanted to see it again, too, to remember how it used to be before it all changed. The humans would come out and walk this area as they went between buildings. Midday, they would come out and sit on benches that used to be here and eat. He laughed. We all used to make a game out of seeing who could get crumbs first before the next set of humans sat down. He turned to his mother with eyes that were begging her to understand. There was so much food, Mother. So many times we weren't even hungry, but it was fun to just play. And we were all gaining too much weight, but we were so happy we didn't care. What happened to all your friends, Jacob? She couldn't imagine that they had all died like Annie. As the decimation continued, we saw fewer and fewer humans. It began to not be as much fun. The humans that were still around stayed inside. They didn't come outside anymore. A lot of my friends went back to their homelands. He looked down, and Olivia couldn't help herself anymore. She opened up her wing, and her son crawled under it as he continued his story. I had to read that to you so that you would know this book came to me 7 years ago, and it is published now because it is an exact almost replication of what we're dealing with and the transformation and everything that everybody's going through. I'm proud of that book, and because Angelique and I are so proud of that book, we are doing kind of a contest and a giveaway. It's not even a contest. Here's all you have to do. Angelique and I, so Angelique at writeforhealing.com, as a way to say thank you to everybody that has purchased the book or that is going to purchase a book, please take a picture of yourself. Either, I want to share that I've got some people that have got the ebook. Some of you on here tonight have shared that you got the ebook. Susan says she has the ebook. Darlinda says that she was wondering and is going to buy the ebook. And so you can take a picture of your phone. You can take a picture of you reading the ebook. You can take a picture like Gina did of her with the book and put it on your social media or on LinkedIn or wherever you want to put it. I really don't care. Just share it on social media with a picture. Email me proof that you did that, and here's going to be your bonus and our thank you to you for doing that. If you will do that by midnight next Thursday, September the 12th, then, okay, everybody got that? You put it on your social media with a picture, and you email me the proof that you did it, and you do that by Thursday night, midnight. And if you do that, I am going to pick 2 people to win either this Meanderings magazine, and can y'all see that? And so this is issue 5, and you guys look at all the beautiful pictures in there. I know it's a little bit of a glare, but and the horses and the desert and ghost towns and stories. Angelique and I have a story in here that we published, and there's history in here and facts, and it's just beautifully put together. And Robert is the editor of this. But somebody will win this is $12 if you don't have the subscription and buy it individually, or a t-shirt. Now this is my t-shirt, and you saw the one that this is my Debra's Boobies t-shirt, inspired by my Friday Night Live viewers. But you'll be able to get whatever t-shirt you want out of my collection, and I will work with you on that and send that to you. So again, by Thursday midnight, okay? So y'all email me and show me what you've shared, and I will pick 2 people. And if somebody shares more, then I might even just do more. So there you go. But I wanted you to know why I'm so proud of this book and why it's so important for today's time.